Easter Sunday 2,000 years ago was more epic than a Hollywood blockbuster. I mean, you had ghost sightings, disappearing bodies, alien visitations, mourning women, doubtful dudes. It was all going down. Thanks to the loyalty and devotion of a few good women, we have a complete chain of custody of the body of Christ, from his arrest to his crucifixion to his burial and to his resurrection. That's, of course, if you choose to believe women. They watched his broken body taken down from the cross, wrapped and embalmed, placed in a tomb, a stone rolled in front of it, and guards stationed in front of the tomb. But what were they wearing at the time? Then, on returning to the tomb on that fateful Sunday, they saw the stone rolled away, they heard the words of an angel, and one of them even embraced Jesus. But had they been drinking at the time? Thanks to the testimony of these faithful women and the subsequent sightings by a number of other people, including the disciples, we can confidently say in 2021, He is risen, Jesus Christ is alive. But so what? At the heart of this story is an innocent man. A man who was murdered because he claimed to be the Son of God. A man who was murdered because he posed such a threat to the well-established religious order. A man who was murdered because he felt no way to break traditions. A man who was murdered because he put people before buildings and temples and things that were made of stone. A man who was murdered because he was galvanizing people. His following, his influence was growing. He was stirring up the people. This brother lived what he believed and believed what he lived. And because what he believed showed the religious system up to be broken, and it showed those who were in charge of that system to be criminals, crooks and villains, they had to get rid of him. Murder, first degree. Because he said it with his whole chest, and with his whole chest he said it, and so he paid the price with his life. But on Easter Sunday 2,000 years ago, the man who was dead came back to life. And the best attempts of those guardians of divine to keep him down were unsuccessful. So today we celebrate. But why do we celebrate? Christians all around the world celebrate what Jesus' death and resurrection means for all of us. He beat death. He conquered the grave. He rescued immortality from the grips of mortality. And as a result of that, there is hope for all of us. You see, at the heart of the Christian belief is this profound understanding and this profound thought that if Jesus conquered the grave, he has conquered it for all of us. And so when we die, it doesn't have to be the end. In fact, when we die, it could be just the beginning. When we die, the best is yet to come. Because although the price for all the bad things we have done should be death, Jesus' death in some miraculous way pays the price that we should pay. And of course, there are some more T's and C's and conditions there, because unfortunately, even us as Christians have put more barriers into entry. Nevertheless, at the heart of it, this is what Christians believe. And I know I've oversimplified it, and there are copious amount of books and web pages and videos and information out there for you to study on and to think about. And for sure, dig in, get stuck in. But at the heart of it, in a nutshell, Christians believe that this price that we should pay with our lives has been paid so that we don't have to. My personal reflection on this most momentous event in human history is twofold. On the one side, of course, I celebrate, I'm ecstatic, it's sheer jubilation of what this day represents. But on the other side, it's a stark reminder of a few things. One, it's a stark reminder that there's a price to be paid when you speak up for those with no voice. When you choose to stand up to those in power, you will pay a price. And this day is a reminder of that fact. This day is also a reminder of the fact that sometimes evil wins. For that Friday evening and that long day on Saturday when Jesus was in that tomb, evil thought they had won. And in fact, for those moments, evil had won. And as we look around the world around us and we see things going on, it does look in many places and in many spaces, like evil has won. And again, this story reminds us that sometimes, for a while, before we rush to Sunday, for a while, evil does win. But then, of course, we rejoice. We rejoice because the story shows us that what the devil meant for evil, God means for good, right? And God can use for good. And whatever situation we find ourselves in where evil seems to have won, we can look at this story and be reminded that God will have the last say, that God does have the final say. In our lives, in our personal situations, no matter what it looks like right now, even if we're in Saturday right now, there is a Sunday coming and God will win. And because we have that hope, and because we have this story, and because we have this reality, today, Easter Sunday, we rejoice, we celebrate for what Christ has done.